TM Outdoors. I am back here now in 2025. Decided I would just go through my fishing combos, setups that I tend to put to work out on the water day in and day out. Thought people might like to see what I use. I'm not sponsored by any companies at all as far as rod, reels, line, baits, any of that. Just Jackson Kayak and Eco Fishing Shop. So I figured, why not let the people know what I use, what I put to the test, and just show off the little arsenal that I have. All right, first rod and reel we're going to start off with is a Fenwick Elite. Heck of a rod. This is my jig rod. Use this thing a lot. One thing is for certain, this is a lot lighter of a jig rod than I normally like to use. One thing is though that I've found out that it does not lack the backbone, nothing. It is a heck of a jig rod for what I like to use. I normally use lighter finesse jigs and such. It is rated 1/4 to 1 ounce. It's a 7-foot medium heavy fast. It is paired up with a Metanium HG, my favorite reel I've ever come across. It definitely is a pricey reel, but to me it was worth the money at the time, the sale that I bought it on. And 90% of the time it's spooled up with anywhere between 17 and 20 pound fluorocarbon, normally Seagar or FC Sniper. That is my jig rod. All right, next up, let's jump over to my beloved buzzbait rod. This is the St.Croix Bass X 6.6 medium heavy fast action. I like it being 6.6. I can cast this buzzbait just as far as anyone would think you could with a 7-foot rod. I like it because I can cast it around docks better. I can skip baits better with it. Just being in a kayak, the shorter rod can definitely help in tight situations and when you're closer to the water below in a kayak. Paired up with the SLX MGL 70 size. This is one of the smoothest casting little reels for around sub $150. I have it paired up with some braid, I believe 50-pound braid. And I chuck buzz baits on this thing as long as I can. Every time I get on the water, if I can, if the water temperature is above about 55 degrees, I'm chucking a buzz bait. So that is the buzz bait setup. All right, next up, ChatterBait setup, my normal ChatterBait setup. This is also a St. Croix Bass X. This is the 7.2 medium heavy power with moderate action. I really like that extra tip in the rod, so I can load up on that chatterbait a little bit more. It helps for the bait not to blow out of the fish's mouth when you go to hook set into them. I have that rod paired up with the Daiwa Tatula SVTW. This is a 7.1. I have had this reel for a few years now, and it has done nothing but surprise me. I would love to have more. They're just a little bit pricey, so we'll have to pick some more up down the road, but this is a heck of a combo to throw a chatterbait with. All right, next up, we'll just go ahead and do my heavy cover chatterbait rod. This is the one I like to throw down at Taneycomo in the grass. This is the F5 Ghost Code. This is one of the conventional tackle rods that they make. Great swim bait rods too. But this is the 7.1 moderate fast, medium heavy. Perfect. Got just enough tip and a strong enough backbone to rip it through the grass, but not pulling it too far out of the grass. That way the bass can catch up to it and just snatch it. I have it paired up with my old trusty loose Hyper Mag. I've had this thing, shoot, close to 5-6 years now. This thing has tested time. There's paint missing off of it and everything. But I have that paired up with normally 40 to 50 pound braid to get through that grass. And this combo right here, it'll catch a lot of fish down in some grass. And that's the heavy cover chatterbait combo. All right, next up is my normal spinnerbait combo. Right now it's got a peewee jig on it, so it works right for that too. But this is the Shimano Intenza 610 medium heavy extra fast. It's not really an extra fast, it's more of a fast, maybe a moderate fast. It's great for spinnerbaits. I love chucking a spinnerbait, springtime, fall time, pretty much year round. Spinnerbait will get ate. So paired up with a SLX XT 150 HG. Great reel for sub 140. Wouldn't mind throwing it for any bait. So it's paired up with 15-pound fluorocarbon normally, and that's the spinnerbait combo. This is a G.Loomis E6X 845C CBR. It's a 7-foot, medium heavy, moderate fast. It's literally built for rock crawler, wiggle wart, you know, your normal Ozark crankbait fishing. But this is my main and only crankbait setup, crazy enough. I mean, I threw a crankbait this year non-stop. I never went to a tournament, a lake, anywhere without a crankbait. But I have it paired up to a Corrado MGL 150 in a 7-speed. People say I use too fast of a reel. Seems to be working fine for me, so I'll keep chucking it. 95% of the time, I'll be on 12-pound fluorocarbon. Sometimes I'll bump it up to 15. That's the crankbait setup. All right, let's do a little more topwater. This is my whopper plopper setup, I would say. This is about all I use this for. This is the Greg Hackney spinnerbait buzzbait rod from Academy that they had a few years back. Paired up with the Greg Hackney reel. I normally run 30 to 40 pound braid, nothing crazy. This rod has a lot of tip in it, so I'm not really afraid to rip out those trebles. I normally upgrade mine anyways, but this is the whopper plopper setup. It got used a little bit this year, and it put a few big ones in the kayak, so it'll get used quite a bit this year too, hopefully. Topwater should hopefully be better. It was pretty trash this past year. All right, let's do the combo that I've been fiddling around a little bit the most here lately. This is my jerkbait setup. This is a St.Croix Bass X, kind of a theme. I've got a lot of Bass X's now. They're great rods, so why not buy something that's pretty cheap? This is the 6.8 medium power extra fast action. I would not call it extra fast by any means. I would call it a moderate fast. This little rod has surprised me. Knock on wood, I have not lost a jerkbait fish yet. And I forced them into the kayak. So, very surprised with this one. It is paired up with the Daiwa Tatula 80 and 10-pound fluorocarbon. I normally throw juniors or junior plus one, so this is just a perfect combo for what I do. All right, we got 3 more bait casters, bait caster setups before we get to the fairy ones. That's what I like to call them. This is my glide bait, light glide bait, coal shad, mag draft, that type of rod. This is the Abu Garcia Veritas PLX 7.6 moderate fast, medium heavy. It tosses this little Buka trick shad quite well. I've had pretty good luck on it when I've gotten to play around with it. Caught a lot more coal shad fish on this rod than anything. But I have it paired up to a Shimano Corrado 200 HG. It's got the power to bring them into the kayak, and that's what I need. 20-pound fluorocarbon. All right, this is my frogging combo. This is just a good old Shimano SLX paired up with a Greg Hackney frog and swim jig rod. It is just a 7.2 heavy fast action rod. Great for walking a frog. I've caught quite a few frogfish on this rod in the past couple of years. Haven't ever had a complaint with it. $100 rod, $100 reel. Really can't go wrong. 50, 65 pound braid. Normally, all of my braid is going to be Suffolks. It's just what I've been known to throw, what I like. It works, hasn't ever failed me. So, that's that. Alright, this is my A-Rig Big Glide combo. This one kind of changes a little bit here and there with different rods. I've got a few different bigger rods that I like to throw, but this is what I've been using the most lately. This is the Shimano SLX-A swimbait rod. This is a 7.3 heavy, but it throws A-rigs great, it throws glides great, it throws just about anything in that, I don't know, 1 to 4 ounce range pretty well. I have that rod paired up with a Lew's Super Duty 300, big old workhorse reel. This thing will grind the biggest fish in you want to grind in to the kayak, so it's it's rock solid. I normally have 20-pound Berkley big game on this reel. I do and have used the new Berkley big game fluorocarbon. It works quite well, but I always just have more faith in the mono. I like the mono with these smaller hooks that I use on my A-rigs. I like the mono with glide baits, so it has a little bit more shock absorption when I get the bites or when I'm casting. And fluorocarbon really almost has just as much stretch as some of the monos do. So Berkley big game, Trilene big game has it's been known to be some of the strongest line on the market, so I'm not afraid to use it at all. That is my bigger glide and A-rig setup. The other rods that I switch between is the SLX-A in the bigger size, and then I also have a KGB extra heavy swim bait rod that I throw for my really big swim baits when I dig those out of the box. Alright, last but not least, the fairy wands. I'm gonna do these real fast because I don't like to use them. I don't use them very much other than one, which I've got it just down to a science exactly how I want it. So here we go. This is the Lose Hypermax spinning reel, 200 size on a Dobbins Fury. I've had this thing for the better part of 7 years now. This is literally just my shaky head, wacky rig rod. That's about the only thing that I throw on this. This one does not get used as much as my other one because that's the one that I have really set up for Neko rigs now. But this has always been a good rod for me. It's caught a ton of fish, and I mean it definitely will catch more down the road. This is actually the setup that I got for live scoping, but I found another great purpose for it. This is a Falcon lowrider in a 6'9" medium light. It's actually the drop shot rod, but it seems to work great for little junior size Megabass 110s. It chucks them a mile, and I can use this rod really easily just to do slight little twitches, and I've come to find out that I like throwing a jerkbait on a spinning rod a little bit. And it's paired up with a Fluger President 50 size, which is kind of crazy. It works. It's got some suffix braid on there, 10 pound to like an 8 pound leader fluorocarbon normally. That's that one. And last but not least, my Neko setup. I use this setup quite a bit. Shimano Stratic, I think it's a 200 size, 2500 size. I've had this forever. Paired up to an Omen Black 13 fishing kayak rod. It's a 610 medium light extra fast. Perfect for setting those little Neko hooks. I really like this. It's super sensitive, paired up with that suffix braid and the 10 pound fluorocarbon leader. That is the Neko setup. And that's that. Those were most of my combos that take most of the brunt force that I put to them throughout the fishing season. All of these rods and reels that I have right now, I used all of last season except for a few that I kind of got midway. All of them have done great. I love my St.Croix. I love the F5 that I have, the Shimanos. They all work fantastic. I just use what I can afford at the time. I do like to spend a little bit more money on my gear because I know it's going to last if I buy good quality equipment. And hopefully it all lasts nice and good through this next year. And I'll just add it to the end. The lines that I do use most of the time will be your Red Label or your basics, your 101, Cigar 101 basic. And then also the Suffix braid. It's about the only type of brand of braid that I use. I will use Power Pro if I get it on sale, but stuff hardly ever goes on sale for good prices anymore during the fishing season. Let's be real. So that is my setups. I hope y'all have a great 2025. Hopefully I'll be hitting 1,000 subs soon. That'd be pretty cool. And hopefully we can get out on the water this year and just whack some fish. I'm ready for this cold spell to be over and get back out on the water. Hope y'all have a great day. Stay fishing.